You're with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
Let's walk the talk. Streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856.
92.7 and 106 FM.
9 minutes after 9 o'clock. Dumelang. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Clement Manyathela Show on this beautiful Thursday morning. It's so great to have you with us here on 702. I hope you're well this morning. The 702 open line starts now on 011-883-0702. If you want to send a WhatsApp voice note, you can do that on 072-702-1702. It's D-Day for Senzo Mkhunu, the police minister that President Cyril Ramaphosa placed on special leave. So there have been allegations that he is compromised by a criminal cartel. He has been accused of issuing a directive for the disbandment of the political killing stars team to protect criminals. What's been clear so far, at least to me, is that the minister involved himself in operational issues that are actually shouldn't be concerning him. So involving himself in operational issues that are in the domain of the National Commissioner actually shouldn't have happened. So was his directive lawful or not? It doesn't appear to be, but he will have an opportunity today to tell us his side of the story. You've heard what General Mkhwanazi said about him. You've heard what Shadrach Sibiya said about him, because he's been defending him. You've heard what Fanima Semula, the National Commissioner, had to say about the minister as well. So what has he got to say? What are you looking forward to hearing from him? I look forward to hearing his explanation around the disbandment of the political killing task team. Why did he issue such a directive without looking at a report first about the progress or lack thereof of this task team? Right? What about his comrade, Brown Mokhotsi? To what extent does their association go? It's going to be an interesting one, and we're going to take you live to Parliament when he starts his testimony today at 11 o'clock. We've moved things around so that we can take you there live so we can hear what he's got to say. The National Prosecuting Authority's Investigative Directorate Against Corruption, IDEC, I don't know if you saw yesterday, they've launched a High Court review of Chief Magistrate Vusmuzi Mahlangu's decision to recuse himself in the fraud and corruption matter against crime intelligence boss Dumisani Khumalo. What do you think of this decision by IDEC? Khumalo, you'll remember, and his co-accused are fighting to have their bail conditions relaxed so that they can return to work. By the way, I was so happy to see General Khumalo in court yesterday for the bail hearing, because I thought, great, that means he's doing better. Remember, there were concerns around his health. He couldn't continue his testimony at the Madlanga Commission because he fell ill, and we didn't know what was wrong. We were just told by Fanima Semula, the National Commissioner, that he's been okay-ish, like he was recovering well. So it was good to see him in court, because I imagine that means he's getting better, and maybe we can have him back at the Madlanga Commission soon. But what's happening with this case is that IDEC, so to give you some context first, General Mkhwanazi claimed that there's a judiciary that is compromised. When he was asked specifically about what he means, part of what he explained was that there's a magistrate who has been hearing Dumisani Khumalo's matter. And this magistrate, they've been trying to apply for bail. And he explained that the magistrate at some point said that Dumisani Khumalo must not go anywhere closer to work. Fanima Semula has since, I think, written a letter to the court to motivate that, he will allow Dumisani Khumalo to continue with his work while he's on bail, which it's quite extraordinary. But the magistrate had decided, and this is what Mkhwanazi said, that even the state didn't ask for this, but the magistrate just decided on his own that he's going to bar Khumalo from getting anywhere closer to work as part of the bail conditions. does that then prove that the magistrate is somehow involved in a criminal cartel? It doesn't, of course. But General Ndlandla Mkhwanazi believes that that is questionable. So that's just the context, right? So now the magistrate in question decided to recuse himself from this matter. And he cited allegations of judicial corruption that were made at the Madlanga Commission. He may have to appear there as well. But IDEC, the NPA's IDEC, argues that this justification is insufficient. And what they've done now is file for a review with the Pretoria High Court, asserting that evidence presented at the commission has no direct bearing on the current court matter. I mean, some people are finding it weird that IDEC is trying to force this magistrate to stay on this case. Some are beginning to think that, now it makes sense. Why are you trying to force this man to stay on this matter? Because you probably know that these guys who are accused stand no chance in front of him. But IDEC says, no. We're doing this because we actually think that the decision, the explanation is given is just not sufficient. So, what are your thoughts on that? I would like to hear from you on 011-883-0702. Send a WhatsApp on 072-702-1702. I asked myself, why is IDEC fighting the personal decision of the presiding officer? I mean, because recusal can be a personal conscious issue, right? And if that's the case here, why do they want to force him to stay on the case? And by the way, I don't think that IDEC wants him to stay because there's some thing that he and them are involved in to protect or, criminals. I don't believe that. I haven't seen evidence of that. I'm just questioning and asking myself, what is the reason? Why are they pushing for that? Are they worried that if there's a new magistrate who comes in, that may take time because they have to familiarize themselves, that magistrate, with the issues around this matter, this court matter, and then be able to hear maybe another bail application when on the date I think that they're going to be appearing again in November, if I'm not mistaken. So does his recusal need IDEC's approval? But also, why did the magistrate recuse himself if really what has been said at the Madlanga Commission has no bearing here? Because what's happening at the commission doesn't necessarily affect the court matter, does it? What do you think? 011-883-0702. WhatsApp's on 072-702-1702.
Clement Manyathela, streaming on the Prime Media Plus app.
DSTV channel 856,
92.7
and 106 FM.
So here's a question, genuine one. Do you have myths that you completely swear by? I'm asking this question because, there's many things that as people we believe in that are different. I'm often impressed, is that the word I'm looking for? But I'm often taken aback or maybe even impressed when I see people stand by some myths that to me may sound weird. So I went running this morning and someone pointed to a pimple on my face and said that there is someone out there who is madly in love with you, but they can't say so. So that love is expressed through a pimple. Of course, I don't believe that, but I was surprised by how confident he was in this belief that this type of pimple somehow expresses some untold, unacknowledged love of sorts. So that made me realize that there are some people who have myths that they believe wholeheartedly in. And I wonder if you have myths like that. And I'm more interested actually in myths for good luck or to cast away the bad spell or bad luck, because that's something I found out when I told the producers about my story, and they told me about the myths that they believe, right? In fact, I was told about some influencer. I didn't know about her. Her name is Rebecca Bloom. Apparently she believes in a number of myths. She believes that anytime she drives by a cemetery, she holds her breath, and she says she does that to keep the spirits away, the bad spirits away. I didn't know that. I drive past cemeteries sometimes and I don't do that. And I've never thought, could it be that there are some bad spirits out there that are coming through as I breathe? So that for me is a bit weird. And I don't know if you believe in that myth too. Is that a thing? When you drive past a cemetery, you have to hold your breath. And she has explained as well, I'm told, that she wears red underwear or socks for any important meeting or presentation or exam. Apparently, this is a Chinese culture. For them, red is like the luckiest color, apparently. So if you are driving and a train passes by in front of you, it's good luck. That's what she also believes. Now, there are other myths that I was talking to producers about this morning, like itchy hands. Because when I was growing up, we were told, like, when you've got itchy hands, that means that you're about to be balling, like you're gonna get some money. If your hands are itchy, means that money is coming your way. If your bottom eyelid twitches, what do they tell us? That means that you're probably gonna receive some bad news. Or, in fact, some people used to say, you're gonna see someone you have not seen in a very, very long time. Do you remember that? Like if your bottom eyelid just twitches. Right? So that I found that to be quite fascinating. Or that you're probably going to cry at some point. If you put your handbag on the floor, this is what one of the producers of the show said, is that she doesn't put her handbag on the floor because you are inviting poverty, apparently. I mean, this was funny for me. I mean, I laughed because I thought, really? Is that a thing? Like, are there people that are not putting their handbags on the floor because you are worried that you're going to receive you're worried that you're inviting poverty? I don't believe that. What I do remember was that there are some families when I was growing up who used to throw salt on top of their roofs. In fact, I once saw, I think, a ZCC pastor, because my dad used to go to the church. And I think, there was a time they came to the house, and I remember them throwing salt on top of the roof, and apparently that casts away bad spirits. That's something else, huh? What else? I'm sure there are many myths out there. I'm giving you just a few that I discussed with the producers this morning after someone was telling me about a pimple. So what are some of the myths that you swear by, whether it's myths to invite good luck or to cast away bad spirits, or things you don't do because you're worried it brings weird things, or you do them because, that actually brings about some great good luck? I'm interested in your thoughts. Give us a call on 011-883-0702. Let's have some fun about that on the WhatsApp line as well, on 072-702-1702. It's 22 after 9.
Your voice,
Your station.
your open line
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
on 702.
26 minutes after 9 o'clock. Let's go straight to your WhatsApps on 072-702-1702.
Good morning, Clement. This is Molefe from Albertine. That itchy hand, every time when I'm gonna get paid on the 25th, I'm getting itchy hand. Or every time when I'm about to receive money, I'm getting itchy hands. So that thing is happening to me. So my grandmother told me about it long time ago, that when you have itchy hand, you're gonna get money. So it's still even happening today. Since I don't know, long time ago, it's still happening. Come 25, on the 20th, 21, 22, I'm gonna get itchy hand. When somebody's about to send me money, I'm gonna get itchy hand. So I don't know, but it's happening to me. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, we get itchy. I've got itchy hands. Now, can I get some money? There's someone who sent a WhatsApp message and said, Clement, I've had itchy hands and I'm so broke. There's a message that came through here on 72702 at 702. Yeah, I don't know. But I also believe that what people believe in, things will happen in that way. That's why you've got people who believe in different things. Like there are people who believe in different religions, who believe in different gods. There are people who believe in ancestors. There are people who believe in a god. People believe in in some higher power of sorts. And whatever you believe in, it's almost like as long as you believe in it and you are convinced in it, then it's going to work out for you. Eh?
Hey, Clement, great show as always, and I love the topic. I firmly and strongly believe that you reap what you sow. You can call it karma. I believe in it because it's also part of my beliefs in God and my Christianity. What you give is what you get, and that is good and bad. If you give something good, you are bound to get good back. If you sow bad, you will lose it 10 times over, even worse. So yeah, I do believe and I do stand by that, and I live by that as a compass in my life. Do what you want done to yourself, to others. So anyway, great topic.
Hi 702 Landers. I don't know if this is a myth or a fact, but I was told that if somebody sweeps along your feet or sweeps your feet, then you won't get married.
Yes.
Well, it's happened to me. I'm not yet married.
Yes, my grandmother I've heard my grandmother say that. If someone sweeps at your feet, you're often told you're not going to get married. Or when you eat from a pot, ne? Didn't they say that? Abel, when you eat from the pot, yeah, because I remember
it's gonna rain on your wedding.
It's gonna
rain on your wedding, Clement. That's what it is.
That's the one. Okay. Look at you guys intervening there. It's gonna rain on your wedding. Has anybody done that? Because if you've eaten from a pot before, and did it rain on your wedding? And what did you do for it to stop? Because I remember at my cousin's wedding, my cousin had to king amo hube pula king gaskhwa
to Abba.
Huh?
To Abba.
Hey, so Abba, huh? To
like
Abba
when you Abba ring a
pot.
child, right?
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, my cousin used to like sonse a pepe like
A shoe.
pizza or a shoe or even a shoe. So you have to like just carry that Abba like a pot or a shoe so that it actually doesn't rain on your wedding day, especially when you can see the weather is acting funny. Like some people really believe these things and they actually happen as they believe them. What are those for you? 011-883-0702. We'll come back with some more calls and WhatsApps after the headlines. It's 9:30. Switzer, good morning.
Thanks, Clement. Good morning. It's funny you're talking about this. I'm wearing a cap today, and my dad used to say a man must not wear hats inside the house because bad
Indoors.
things will happen to him or his family. So now I feel bad for wearing a cap today. He
Take
just
off
reminded
that
me.
cap in honor of your dad. Respect your elders.
Your voice,
Your station.
your open line
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela.
on 702.
23 minutes before 10 o'clock. I'm loving the messages you're sending about myths. You won't believe what other people actually believe. And it works. It works for them. We're taking your calls on 011-883-0702. Let's start with this WhatsApp around the question I asked earlier about IDEC and them wanting to, of course, challenge this decision by that magistrate in the Dumisani Khumalo matter. They're saying, well, we're not sold by the reasons you're giving us, and now they want the higher court to review that decision.
Good morning, Clement Manyathela and 702 listeners. I think Nkantam Konas is saying might be correct because in terms of the court processes have got nothing to do with the employment services of an employee. If you are being charged criminally, you'll go to the court. But if there's anything that you're doing that is work-related, then it will be dealt with regarding the policies of the workplace. Therefore, suspension of an employee, that is purely the employer's decision. It is not for the court. It's the employer that must make a finding to suspend or not to suspend an employee based on the allegations. Secondly, in terms of recusal, when a person recuses himself, him or herself, is if the person feels he's not going to be partial in the ruling, that person can say that I'm not going to be partial because of whatever information, then it is within that person's right to recuse. No one can tell the person or force the person to chair a matter or be a magistrate is something that he feels is not going to be fair. So IDEC shouldn't be doing this on behalf of the magistrate. The magistrate is within this right to say he can or he cannot. Thank you.
Yeah, but also the magistrate, I mean, I'm not too aware of all the reasons the magistrate has provided. I know that what he said is cite the allegations at the Madlanga Commission and said, and IDEC then says, but that has no bearing on this matter that we're hearing here in court. So why would you recuse yourself? But I do take the point that you raise, especially around what happens in someone's employment. That should be the decision of the employer to say to you, okay, step away. But IDEC could also argue that, well, the matters involving Dumisani Kumalo and others actually relate to what they've done at work. So them having access there may also just jeopardize the case, or they may actually just interfere with witnesses that they shouldn't be able to interfere with. I don't know, but we'll hear the reasons more. IDEC is taking this matter to the higher court. Let's hope it will make more sense there. Let's go to calls now. Vincent, you're calling us from Ebony Park. You want to talk about these myths. What do you believe?
Morning, Clement.
Hey, Tada.
No, I'm just going to tell you about millennium myth. You know what is happening, Clement? When I played Lotto on on a banking app, I normally switch off the notification in the morning, like any WhatsApp notification. Then any message which comes in the morning, I'm just making a small prayer. When I open it up, I've won Lotto. Most
really?
1160. It's 1160, 950. But I'm just saying, it's a win, Clement. That's what I'm doing. And I do.
A win is a win, hey?
It really works for me. It really works for me.
Okay, Vincent, the next time you win about 10 million or so, give me a call, okay? We'll have lunch.
Yeah. As long as I'll assist you to keep your bald head permanently now.
Take me to Turkey to do that. Vincent in Ebony Park, thanks for your call. Peladi, you're in Pretoria. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Oh, the line is not good, Piladi. The line is not good. I'm putting you back to the producers. Let's try and sort that out and maybe have you on a separate line and see if that works. In the meantime, let's go to your WhatsApps.
Hello, Clement. Laugh out loud. Look how you turned out. So I shall be throwing salt on my roof immediately. Thank you. Like your father did, because you turned out very well. Bye.
And it's not like normal salt. Like, it's that hard salt. Eh? It's not like that salt that's so faint and the hard one. So whenever they used to throw the salt on the roof, like we would be in the house and we would be so scared. Eh? We would be so scared because, Kohai, it was Kimasenge, So, well, at the time, right? So every time they would throw that salt on the roof, it was so loud. But hey, apparently that kept bad spirits away. We wouldn't be here had it not been for that salt. Piladi, we've got you back on a better line. Go ahead.
I hope you can now hear me.
Much better, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. So in a family, if your eye twitches underneath, you're gonna receive some bad news or you're gonna be disappointed. So in 1996, I had my eye twitching underneath aggressively so. And during that week, my sister disappeared. We're looking for my sister up and down. And when it twitches aggressively, there's this thing that you must put a little bit of a paper or a little or something so that it doesn't twitch that aggressively. And I did that. And everybody kept on asking me, why do you have that? You've got something. Can I remove it? I said, no, leave it. My eye's twitching. And I said to my classmates at the time that, I think I'm going to get some bad news. Lo and behold, my sister was found on Sunday. She was killed. And I always believed in that. Yeah. And I remember that so vividly. So now, Clement, when it happens, I just pray that God, whatever is going to happen, let it be something that I can handle. So yeah, I don't take that lightly. When it twitches now, I'll call everybody, my sister, my family. Is everybody okay? Is everybody okay? Then I know. If everybody's okay, then I relax. But yeah, these things are crazy. Yeah, but that's my story.
Yeah. Oh my God, Pilad, I'm sorry to hear about your sister. But and that again says what I was trying to say earlier, that what people believe in, it will be. Even the Bible says everything shall happen according to your belief. And I believe that's why people, even in their different religions, even in their different myths, they stick to it, they believe in it, and that's what happens. In fact, when my grandfather died, I remember we saw these, what do you call these ants? They look a bit orange, but they're not orange, but they're very dark. And we saw those ants in the house, and I remember seeing those, and I thought, because we used to be told that when you see ants like that, there will be a death in the family or someone close to you. And on the day that my grandfather died, I saw those ants at home. So every time I see those ants, I get a little worried that, oh my goodness, who are we losing now? So yeah, these things do happen, guys. Piladi, thank you for your call in Pretoria. More of your WhatsApps.
What I believe most of the time, not most of the time that I'm having deja vu, but whenever I do have it, I get some sort of good feeling that now I'm about to get good news soon. Each and every time. And it's stuck with me since I was a child. Every experience of deja vu, I just know something good is about to happen. Could be wrong. Thanks a lot, bro.
Clement, about the love one, I think it's the one in between your nose and your lips, and it should be in the middle, or under your lips and it still should be in the middle. So yeah, that's for love. And then if your hands are itchy inside, it's for money. That means you're gonna get money. And someone, it's using that against me all the time now. She's manipulating everything. Her hands are always itching and I must always give her money. So yeah.
Thank you. Hi, Clement. So it's Samson here. So when we were young, because I'm not saying when we grew up, because I'm still growing up. When we were young, when you sort of get money on the floor, when we pick it up, we would then make a cross and say thank you to Lefatshe, or thank you to the world for giving you that money. But you need to make a cross exactly where you picked up that coin or note. But the other interesting one, when we would meet a funeral motorcade or a funeral convoy, as younglings, we used to sort of sit down until the entire motorcade has passed. And if you're wearing a hat, you must take off your hat. And make sure that the entire thingy has passed before you can do anything. That's how we used to do it.
Oh, fascinating. Lester, you're calling us from Midrand. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you, Clement?
I'm all right, man. Go ahead.
Okay, a nice show too.
Thanks.
Clement, I once experienced two things, but there are a lot of them, but right now I'll say only two. There was a time, sometimes in 2005, I was in Alexander, visiting one of my cousins there. There was one night, the cat cried terribly. And I was told by my grandmother, say, when the cat is crying, it means something. There's something terrible that it's going to happen or it's going to hear from that thing. And it happened in the very same neighborhood. As you can see, how Alexander is congested. One of the foreign guys was from Mozambique. They went somewhere and go and look for a gun, because most of the time they were getting marked there in the township. To the very same place where he went to get a gun, the very seller of that gun, he shot him. That was the news. I say, yeah, that was the cat.
The cat that had cried. Yeah, in fact, speaking of the cat, one other myth that I know is a bit popular is when a black cat crosses when you're driving, especially at night, like, start praying. That's what I used to do, because I was always told that that's bad luck. There could be an accident or something. So, and it's happened before, like where a black cat passes, just crosses the road as you drive. Oh, I start speaking in tongues, I'm telling you. It's 12 minutes before 10.
Your voice.
Your station.
Your open line.
Walk the talk with Clement Manyathela
on 702.
All right, 10 minutes before 10 o'clock. Let's go back to your calls and WhatsApps.
Hi, Clement. There's a very interesting myth within the runners community, particularly comrades runners, that if you do not say hello to other when you're passing by other seats, I'm told that you we will have a very bad comrades. I'd like to explore this further. This is Chief Mtembu from Sandton. Bye.
Really, Chief Mtembu? Sometimes, guys, when you're running comrades, and I've been there on that road, and it's tough that sometimes when people greet you, you just don't even have the energy to say hello back. Like, especially after poly shots, it's literally, you are reckoning with yourself. So, yeah, maybe in the first 40, 50 Ks. After that, guys, I'm focusing on me, hey?
Hi, Clement. With the itchy palm thing, it happens to my mother, my sister, and I. For them, it's their left palm, and for me, it's always my right palm. And every time it itches, without fail, I do get money.
Morning, 702 listeners. My grandmother used to say to me, if you walk backwards, you will lose all your parents. So you couldn't do that walking backwards. We were scared to do that.
Oh, so if you walk backwards, you're going to lose all your parents. Oh, my goodness. I'm just thinking, and yeah, sometimes I hate wanting to intellectualize things and philosophize things. But I'm just thinking, can you imagine what we have been taught and told that was meant to, I don't want to say control us, but it was meant to create order, quote unquote. I mean, there are so many things that, you walking backwards and all your parents are just going to die. Yeah, it's just there are so many, I think there are things that have been told, that we've been taught, that we've been socialized in, that are actually meant to just keep us in order or to control us in a particular way or to have us stay disciplined and we have believed some of those. But then how do you explain the fact that some of those things we've been taught, whether you call them myths or superstitions, there are people, as you've heard on the show today, who are able to attest to that and say, oh, I've actually experienced this. And as a result of that, this myth we were told, would happen when you experience this, and that's exactly what's happened with me. It's just so fascinating, because then I think about, other things, like what were we taught about this world, about our God, about this earth, about the heaven, that was meant to necessarily keep us in order, which is why we need to question things. We must always question things. I would want to ask, my grandmother, okay, why? What's the connection? What is it about walking backwards that would get me to lose both my parents? Hey, Vusi, you're calling us from Pretoria. Good morning.
Hi,
hey,
Clement,
Vusi.
how are you?
Sure, man. I'm all right. How are you?
Good. Nice show, as always. Clement,
Thanks.
I heard there was somebody, on your voice note, somebody sent a voice note to say that when they pick up the money, they'd make a cross. So that's what I used to do when I was growing up. And then when I was young. So now that I've grown up, I've realized that actually we were doing that. You find that at home they say you stole their money because of you show them the money that you have picked it up somewhere. So when you're making that mark or the X or the cross, it was to mark where you picked up the money, so that when they say you stole the money, so you take them back where you
and show them the mark.
That money.
If it's disappeared, then you're in trouble, Vusi.
And then I'm sorry. There's another one for the tooth fairy.
Yeah.
The one for the tooth fairy. You see, when you've got a small child and then their tooth is loose, sometimes they're scared to tell you that please take it out, or they won't know that they need to take it out. So when you tell them about the tooth fairy, you make it easy for them to tell you that they've got a loose tooth, so that will be able to take it out to make way for a new one. So you see, some people like me, my tooth at the bottom, they are not aligned because of I didn't take them out when I was supposed to. So after that, so I realized that, for us to tell them that our tooth is loose, then they take it out. And then the other one could come, like you'd have a beautiful lined teeth. It was because you tell them early that your tooth is loose. So that was the thing for the fairy tale. It was to encourage that. So that
interesting.
Now we have grown up.
All right, interesting, Vusi. Thanks for sharing that.
Morning, Clement. I have eaten out of the pot many, many times. I got married in December 2019. I'm still married. And if anybody knows Pretoria, they know that we get December rain. It was boiling hot. It was boiling, scorching hot on the 21st of December 2019. Zunaid from Pretoria.
Here are two quick myths that we've always grown up with. One being you can't cut your hair at night. That is a common one in obviously black families, that, hey, don't cut your hair at night. So if you're going to cut your hair, it must be during the day or whatever it is. Cannot be at night. And obviously with that, also the one that says you cannot sweep all your stuff or whatever. When you're cleaning, you cannot clean at night. So whatever you're sweeping, it must stay indoor. Don't sweep it outside. At night, you can keep it inside and then you can throw it out tomorrow morning. Those are the two myths that we've all grown with. Thank you.
Morning, Major. Clement, Reina, when we were growing up, about the myth, so they said if you point at the rainbow, you must swallow a little stone, very little stone. So, because there was this belief that if you don't swallow a stone, someone in your family is going to pass away.
Hi, Clement. My percent. Another one is that do not hit a child on their head with a book. You're going to turn them dumb.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Sometimes we'll be hit by teachers or grandparents on our head by a book because they are angry.
Oh, my goodness. Can't believe this. Yeah. There's so many that have come through, guys, that I've never even heard before. Thank you so much for sharing those with us. It's so funny.